What was supposed to be a glamorous high-fashion photoshoot at Liu Yuning's production company turned into an absolute nightmare when special effects fire explosions malfunctioned and came within inches of seriously burning Zhao Lusi in an incident that has the entire entertainment industry demanding answers about safety protocols and accountability. The photoshoot, which took place yesterday at Liu Yuning's newly established media production facility in Beijing, was intended to create dramatic promotional images featuring elaborate pyrotechnic effects that would showcase the company's technical capabilities and Zhao Lusi's star power in a collaboration that was supposed to benefit both parties. Instead, eyewitnesses described terrifying moments when controlled fire bursts that were supposed to create atmospheric background effects suddenly surged toward Zhao Lusi with unexpected intensity and proximity, forcing her to frantically dodge flames that came close enough to singe her clothing and hair while crew members screamed warnings and rushed to pull her to safety. How could such a dangerous malfunction happen at a supposedly professional production facility? Why was Zhao Lusi placed so close to pyrotechnic effects without adequate safety measures? And most shockingly, were corners cut on safety protocols and equipment quality in ways that prioritized dramatic visuals over the basic well-being of the talent? The fact that this happened at a facility owned by Liu Yuning himself has created an impossibly awkward situation, where he's personally responsible for an incident that could have killed or permanently disfigured one of China's most beloved actresses. The details emerging from people who were present during the photoshoot paint a picture of escalating danger that multiple crew members apparently recognized, but failed to adequately address before catastrophe nearly struck. The concept for the shoot involved Zhao Lusi in elaborate designer gowns posed against backgrounds featuring controlled fire effects that would create dramatic lighting and visual interest without actually putting the talent at risk, a technique that's been used successfully in countless high-end fashion and entertainment photoshoot contexts, when executed properly with appropriate safety measures. The specific setup involves several pyrotechnic devices positioned behind and to the sides of where Zhao Lusi would be standing, designed to produce brief bursts of flame that would appear in the background of shots while she remained at a safe distance in the foreground. Technical specifications and safety protocols for this type of setup are well established in the industry, requiring minimum distances between talent and pyrotechnics, protective barriers, fire safety equipment on immediate standby, and personnel specifically trained in pyrotechnic safety supervising every aspect of the shoot. According to multiple sources who were present, several of these basic safety requirements were either inadequately implemented or completely ignored during this photoshoot in ways that created the dangerous conditions that led to Zhao Lusi's near injury. The moment when everything went horrifyingly wrong was captured on camera by the official shoot photographer, and has since been viewed by several entertainment journalists who describe it as genuinely terrifying to watch even knowing she wasn't ultimately seriously hurt. The footage reportedly shows Zhao Lusi in position for what was supposed to be the dramatic climax of the shoot, wearing a flowing white gown and posed in a way that would showcase both the garment and her face while the fire effects created atmosphere in the background. The photographer counted down for the shot, the pyrotechnic devices were triggered on cue, and for approximately 2 seconds everything appeared to be proceeding as planned with controlled flame bursts creating the intended visual effect. Then, without warning, one of the devices malfunctioned in a way that caused a much larger flame burst than designed, and critically, the flame projected forward toward Zhao Lusi rather than upward and backward as intended. Witnesses describe her facial expression changing instantly from professional model composure to genuine terror as she recognized the danger, her body instinctively recoiling and attempting to move away from the flames even as the flowing fabric of her gown created additional hazard by potentially catching fire. Multiple crew members can be heard shouting warnings and at least 3 people physically rushed toward her to pull her away from the danger, creating chaotic scenes that were captured by cameras still rolling throughout the emergency. Liu Yuning himself was present at the facility during the photoshoot, though he was not in the immediate shooting area when the malfunction occurred, instead overseeing other aspects of his company's operations in a different section of the building. According to people familiar with the situation, he was immediately notified of the incident and rushed to the set location where he found Zhao Lusi visibly shaken, sitting in a chair wrapped in a blanket provided by concerned crew members, while others were frantically checking her for injuries and ensuring the pyrotechnic devices were completely shut down and safe. His initial reaction was reportedly one of genuine shock and distress, immediately asking if she was okay and apologizing profusely while also demanding explanations from the technical crew about how such a malfunction could have occurred. The photoshoot was immediately terminated with no possibility of continuing, all planned remaining shots cancelled, and the entire crew stood down while the incident was reviewed and safety protocols examined. Liu Yuning reportedly spent considerable time with Zhao Lusi personally apologizing and ensuring she received whatever support and medical evaluation she needed, though the awkwardness of the situation, where he as the facility owner bears ultimate responsibility for what happened, was apparent to everyone present. The public apology that Liu Yuning issued through his social media accounts several hours after the incident has become one of the most analyzed celebrity statements of the year, with millions of people scrutinizing every word choice and parsing the statement for what it reveals about responsibility, sincerity, and whether adequate accountability is being taken. The statement, posted on his verified Weibo account, acknowledged that a serious safety incident occurred during a photo shoot at my company's facility that put Zhao Lusi at risk of injury, and expressed his deepest apologies to Zhao Lusi for this unacceptable situation. He stated that he takes full responsibility as the owner of the facility where this occurred, and committed to a complete investigation of what went wrong and implementation of whatever changes are necessary to ensure nothing like this ever happens again. The statement thanked the crew members who acted quickly to protect Zhao Lusi from harm and expressed gratitude that she was not seriously injured despite the dangerous malfunction. He concluded by saying he had personally apologized to Zhao Lusi and would continue to support her recovery from this traumatic experience in whatever way she needed. The response to Liu Yuning's apology has been sharply divided between those who view it as appropriately taking responsibility and demonstrating genuine remorse, versus those who criticize it as inadequate given the severity of what almost happened and the apparent safety failures that created the situation. Supporters point to his explicit acceptance of responsibility, his immediate personal apology to Zhao Lusi, and his commitment to investigation and corrective action, as evidence that he's handling this as well as can be expected in a terrible situation. They argue that accidents happen even with the best precautions, and that judging him too harshly for what was likely an equipment malfunction or human error, rather than deliberate negligence, is unfair. Critics counter that the apology focuses too much on the malfunction itself, and not enough on acknowledging the systemic failures that allowed Zhao Lusi to be placed in such a dangerous position in the first place. They note that the statement doesn't address specific questions about what safety protocols were supposed to be in place, whether they were followed, who was responsible for ensuring pyrotechnic safety, or whether corners were cut to save money or time in ways that prioritize production efficiency over safety. Some are demanding much more detailed accountability, including public disclosure of the investigation findings and specific corrective actions being implemented. Zhao Lusi's own response to the incident has been notably measured and apparently aimed at de-escalating the situation, rather than inflaming controversy or assigning blame publicly. Her social media post, published shortly after Liu Yuning's apology, acknowledged that a frightening moment occurred during a photo shoot, but emphasized that she was not seriously injured and was grateful for the crew members who acted quickly to ensure her safety. She thanked everyone who had expressed concern for her well-being and asked fans not to direct excessive anger or blame toward anyone involved, noting that accidents can happen even with the best intentions and preparations. This gracious response has been interpreted by some as genuine desire to avoid turning this into a bigger controversy than necessary, while others suggest she may be under pressure to downplay the incident to protect professional relationships and avoid being seen as difficult or creating problems for collaborators. The entertainment industry in China has notorious dynamics where talent, particularly female talent, can face career consequences for being perceived as troublemakers, even when they're victims of others' negligence or mistakes, creating incentives to minimize and move past incidents, rather than demanding full accountability. The technical analysis of what went wrong with the pyrotechnic devices is still ongoing, but preliminary information suggests a combination of equipment malfunction and potentially inadequate safety protocols created the dangerous situation. Pyrotechnic special effects used in photography and film production are carefully engineered devices designed to produce controlled flame or spark effects with predictable behavior when used according to specifications. These devices have specific operational parameters regarding placement distances, triggering mechanisms, fuel loads, and safety clearances that must be respected to ensure safe operation. According to pyrotechnic safety experts who have reviewed available information about the incident, the malfunction that caused the flame burst to project toward Zhao Lusi, rather than away from talent, suggests either that the device itself was defective or improperly loaded, or that it was positioned incorrectly in ways that didn't account for potential variations in flame direction. Either explanation points to safety protocol failures. Defective equipment should have been caught during pre-shoot safety checks, and positioning should have included adequate safety margins to account for potential variations, rather than placing talent at the minimum safe distance where any malfunction would immediately create danger. The broader safety culture questions this incident raises about Liu Yuning's production company, and potentially the Chinese entertainment industry more generally, are generating intense discussion among industry professionals and safety advocates. Multiple crew members and industry insiders speaking anonymously have suggested that corners are frequently cut on safety protocols during commercial photo shoots and smaller productions where budgets are limited and schedules are tight,